Hey guys, welcome back to the 1001 Movies Challenge, film number 14, Nosferatu, a Symphony of Terror. Now, in my generation, most of the kids have watched SpongeBob, and in one episode there was a uh, horror episode, and it was about, well, it doesn't matter what it was about, but they make a reference to this movie, and they say Nosferatu, and I was like, oh, this is where that came from. This is where it was. So a little bit of trivia there if you haven't seen SpongeBob or not part of my generation. So I was actually really looking forward to this movie, not because it was in SpongeBob, but I actually heard it was a really pretty scary, and so I thought like, oh, good, I have something to look forward to. It was a it I didn't really like this movie actually. It was, well, first of all, 99% of, if you ever seen a silent film, 99% of the film has music in it. And in this movie, there's an organ that plays most of the time. And I found it very obnoxious. In fact, I found it very distracting. To the point where I was just like, wait, why is there such loud music and there's nothing going on? Because an organ's like bah 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 bah, and and this and it got very distracting several times. I'm just like, can the organ stop playing? Like seriously, because I could barely concentrate. And this movie has very little dialogue, as in like there's no text for you to read. There's very little of that, and it's very much just more of a description. And also, let me talk about the main character for a second. The main character is a moron. He is, well, let me back up. In the edited version for English, the antagonist is called Count Dracula. But in the actual translation, or the actual transcript word, he's Count. He is called Count Orlok. I think that's how you pronounce it. So I was like, Count Dracula. Doesn't he not know what that is? But I guess that makes sense that Orlok, or maybe he should still. But anyway, he goes. He's first of all he gets a letter from Count Orlok or Count Dracula, whatever you want to call him, and he says, "Oh, I would like to buy a house next door to you, right next, just right across from you." And so he obliges and goes to his house in Transylvania, the Valley of Phantoms. That's like, bleh, first sign, like, dude, what are you doing? And 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 I kind of gave it a pass because he was like, oh, I don't believe in all that stuff. I don't believe in all of that. But at some point, you're just like, dude, you have what are you doing? You know what this is, because he goes there and he meets the Count Dracula or Count Orlok, whatever his name is, and he cuts himself with a stump, and Count Orlok is like, ooh, precious blood, and starts to like try to suck his thumb off because of his blood, and he's like, back off, and goes away. And then he goes to sleep, wakes up, finds out there's two bites right on his neck, and writes a letter to his wife saying, oh, I found two bites on my neck. Must have been mosquitoes. Not vampire at all. Just mosquitoes, obviously, because you haven't heard enough about this guy already. And I was just like, dude, what are you doing? You don't have any clue. So it was really hard for me to root for this guy because he was a moron. And so, but Nosferatu, the actual vampire, is actually pretty chilling when he shows up on screen. He's actually pretty scary. Well, not chilling is the right word for it. So, there comes to the ending where he sees, well, not ending. Sorry, this movie is really just all over the place. So he sees his wife Nosferatu, or the Count Orlok, and he sees like, ooh, what a precious throat. And yes, I would like to buy the house next to you. And he was like, great, of course, because who cares? He didn't say precious throat or beautiful throat, whatever he said. And then he was like, yes. And the main character's like, sure, why not? Then he finally figures out before that he is a vampire by finding himself in a coffin, finding Count Orlok in a coffin. runs home, finds his wife. Wife figures out that the only way that, that can beat Nosferatu is her. So she lures him to her. He starts sucking on her neck, and then he dies from the morning sun. Yeah, that's that's how he dies. Nothing that the main character actually did or contributed to. You're just more of a you need to get out of the way. So yes, I wasn't very. This movie sucked. Film 15 is next.